Everyone. Happy afternoon. I hope I can keep you awake before you start your lunch. So, Peanut. New mothers, there are 131 million new mothers every year. And in the US alone, that equates to 10,000 births a day. Us mothers control 85% of the household spend, and we're worth around $2.4 trillion, not a small market. So why wasn't there an app that reflected modern motherhood, that really stood out and connected women and did something that they really needed? Enter Peanut. I'm going to press play because I don't know why it's not playing. And now it isn't at all. Hi, guys. It's not working. Sorry. The video isn't playing? No. Technical issues. The video on here. Okay, it's not working. No, the other slide. It's not working. Anyway, I'll carry on talking. So, enter Peanut. Peanut is an app which connects like-minded women who happen to be at similar life stages. Women can connect and learn, chat, and meet from like-minded women, and we capture the insights of these women. Think, as the press have called us, Tinder for moms. So we're really thinking about how we can use algorithms and machine learning more typically associated with dating and apply it to connecting women. So what's our progress been? We launched in February of this year, so we're a very, very new company in that respect. And Peanut has just taken its own form and its own life. It is only women, and up until 6 weeks ago, it was iOS only as well. So with zero marketing spend and a lot of belief trusting the women who were using it, Peanut just started to grow a life of its own. So who's involved in Peanut? My background is working in the dating industry. I used to be deputy CEO of Badoo, which some of you may know is the huge European dating platform, and as part of that was involved in the launch of Bumble, the female-first dating app, which some of you might know. So obviously, social connectivity and then thinking about the female experience of that is something very close to my heart and my experience. My co-founder was the co-founder and CTO of Deliveroo. Deliveroo, as you may know, is the food delivery company. So both Greg and I are very experienced in building social products which also scale, and something that we found very exciting to start working together and build together. We're a team of 6 people with a single feature and some quite exciting backers who backed us from pre-product. So really now, how did we do it? Peanut really grew on its own. We seeded Peanut in London and New York, really because we had some women there, and it was really just about testing a proof of concept. Is it a valid proposition that women want to meet and want to connect? And from there, Peanut just started to grow organically, and we saw thousands of women using Peanut in Chicago, Dallas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and right across the US and London. And I think for us, that's just really testament to the fact that women want to connect, that it was a valid proposition, and all of this with no marketing and just one feature. So now, on to the next, where we think about building our second feature, which the video would have shown if it was working at the start, I'm sorry, which is coming in the new year, and on with the growth. Thank you.
Next up, we have Melis. Warm welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Do I get to use the remote?
Quicker.
Thanks.
Slides.
Where do I click?
Technical difficulties at a tech conference, of course.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Melis. I am the CEO and the founder of ModaCruz. ModaCruz is basically, well, it means cross fashion. it's a, one sec. It's basically a marketplace specifically targeting pre-loved women's fashion in Turkey. I founded ModaCruz when I was 26. It was in 2014 in Istanbul. I just want to talk a little bit about Turkish market first. So why Turkey? Well, there are 20 million women in Turkey and who are online as of now. And 7 million women who shops online every year. And they spend about $1.1 billion. And e-commerce in Turkey still grows 30% year over year. Here are some numbers that we've managed to accomplish within 3 years. So basically, we managed to connect over 1.5 million women through ModaCruz. And we've been lucky enough to host over 5 million unique inventory in over 4,000 brands. And I'm going to look at my notes because I have some really good insights here. So right now, an average buyer on ModaCruz basically buys about 12 times in their lifetime, and 5% of our sellers are basically women who turn this into a real business. And given that only 30% of Turkish women in Turkey is employed, ModaCruz is not only offering women a way to access second-hand fashion at a much cheaper price, but it is also offering them a way to make basically extra income. And finally, basically our vision is to empower women through fashion. But what we really want to achieve is, I want to be able to be in every single fashion purchase decision made in Turkey in 2 ways. One is, I'm about to buy this thing, but can I find this on ModaCruz for a cheaper price from the community of women? And the second is, I bought this, but I have a backup plan to sell this on ModaCruz. And today everything I wear is secondhand and purchased from ModaCruz. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Please take a seat. Next up, we have Jasmine, who's going to give us a quick elevator pitch on what her business does. 2 minutes. I'm watching the clock.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Jasmine, co-founder of Recast.AI, a French AI startup created 2 years ago. The core of Recast.AI is a homemade natural language technology, NLP, to understand human language. And this technology is available through an end-to-end collaborative platform, allowing developers to easily create chatbots. And our corporate go-to-market is to revolutionize customer relations for major companies with chatbots. Our growth in Recast.AI is based on 2 simultaneous streams. The evolution of the chatbot market and our growing community of developers. This community was important to us from the beginning because our technology is based on the collaboration of multiple people to make it efficient. And it's because of this community who tested, tricked, and invented new use cases that we are now able to understand how and why people use chatbots. And as we understand that, we can predict the market's evolution. And all of this has had a great impact on our business growth. In April 2016, all companies were making chatbots, but with no real users' benefits. But now the market's matured, and real use cases have appeared. Through these 2 streams, Recast.AI now has more than 20,000 of developers creating bots, and more than 15 corporate clients in telecommunication, energy, bank, and insurance, all automating parts of their customers' relations. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Cordelia. Warm welcome. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cornelia Mander. I'm the CEO of Novelda. We are a leading sensor technology company based in Norway. We believe that there will be sensors everywhere, collecting data and for various purposes. Our sensor that we have developed is unique. It can detect movement with a very precise accuracy, down to less than 1 millimeter. So I can detect you breathing in 10 meters at a distance. And with that, we can make numerous applications within vital signs or people detection, putting the sensor into consumer electronics, or even in big conference halls like this to count people, or in vital signs for monitoring people in a much more efficient way. When we introduced our product to the market, we started out with giving them a chip. It turned out it was very difficult for the companies to deploy the technology, and we had to help them more. We had to design the antenna and provide the antenna with them. And instead of them doing signal processing, we did the algorithm for them. So in that way, we made it possible for the customers to deploy our technology much faster. Actually, it was decreased down from 36 months to 9 months, the time to market for the products. Also, we work a lot with the companies in tight collaboration with in joint development projects in order to understand good enough the use cases. And it's amazing when working in these joint development projects how we actually can release the potential in the technology in a much different way than working on alone. And also with that, I think it's very important that you actually, when you want a company to grow, you cannot do it alone. You have to do it with all the partners and all the players in a network. Even though we are not a product company, we're working directly with the hospitals so that we can prove to them the value of the technology and then create the pull in the market. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. So you have all heard from 4 amazing women leading technology companies from France to Turkey. And I think that one thing that everyone's a bit interested in is what would you say are your productivity hacks? Because actually, you're all busy, you've all got teams, you've all raised capital, you've got to deal with investors, as well as making sure your company's on track. So it'll be great if you could just give a quick snippet on what your top productivity hack is for running your companies. Really elevator, ladies, because I'm watching the clock.
Be selfish with your time. Your time is your most important and precious commodity. So don't be afraid to say no to people. Say yes when you can, but you can be selfish and say, I have 10 minutes here, I have 20 minutes. And be strict with yourself about how you spend your time as well. Make sure it's well invested.
I guess like prioritization and focus is the way to use your time as productive as possible.
Have daily and weekly routine for like important tasks, and never be like alone. You have a team around you, and this is really important. You can really rely on it.
I tend to live after a proverb that is called put first things first. So I always revisit what is the priority and the most important thing to do, because there are so many distractions. And that's the more long-term priorities, so that keeps me productive.
So a lot of people in the audience might be looking for investment. All of you understand what it's like to get on the investment treadmill. What's your top tip for those looking to raise money, and how, as a founder or CEO, they should approach it from the get-go?
I think you have to be laser focused in who you're speaking to. Know why you're speaking to that potential investor, because you're going to be working with them for a long time, hopefully. So know exactly why you're speaking to them, and anticipate any of the downfalls or any of the holes that there may be, or you can see that they may point out in your product and be ready to answer that before they've even had the chance to. I think it shows a good awareness of your product and your industry.
I think number one thing is to own your numbers and your strategy, and then show your passion about your business.
And don't forget that the relationship with investors are like love story. It's really like they choose you, but you choose them too, and it's really important to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing, actually, to choose the investors that is going to stay with you and stay with you for a long period, because it takes time and it's very demanding to develop new technology and products. So choose the investors.
A lot of people here at the Web Summit are in the startup industry and want to stay in the startup industry for the next 2 years. Talent is always an issue for all companies. At Token, when I joined, we were 12 people across London and San Francisco, and now we are 40 people. How do you make sure that you spot and hire the best talent and get through all of the fluff in order to make sure that you're hiring the best talent?
We're a team of 6 at Peanut, so we're very lean. It means that we all work extremely hard and we all do everything. There is nothing that is just my role, everything is my role. And I think that joined responsibility is really helpful. I think something that I learned from kind of days of being in a very big organization, running a very big company, is if you see something in someone, even if it's not perfectly aligned with what you need, don't lose track of that person. Keep sight on them, because at some point in the future, you'll need them.
So we are a team of 50, and ModaCruz being my first startup ever, I mean, I didn't even had an intern before that. Basically, for the past 3 years, I have interviewed over 200 people, and what I can say is that it's really practice to get to know people and kind of understand whether that person would be fitting to your company culture or not.
We are 22 at Recast, and it's really like a family. Your team is your second family, so it's really important. And for me, the first thing I think when I meet a new people, it's like, can I have a coffee with these people every morning? And this is really the most important thing.
I think one of the most important things when it comes to people is actually to release the potential of the people you have. Because a lot of people are talking about all the time, recruit new people, recruit the best people. But I think you have the people. You just have to release their potential and find out how they can contribute the best way. And that's the job of the leader.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your insights, ladies. And I'm sure all of your companies will keep on growing as fast as they have been for the last few years. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.